Hey guys, today I'm making a video from the comfort of my living room. And this is to talk about how you can break out of a routine or a rut or a miserable job that you hate, and also to talk about the fact that you can do anything if you put your heart and mind to it. And from my point of view, if you are struggling or if you think you're not making enough money and if you're not successful, it's your own fault. It's not the fault of the world around you. This is how I've spent all my life. I started from nothing, as I've mentioned before a few times, and I didn't come from a wealthy background. My parents at some point before I was born were very comfortable and could be classed as wealthy, but then they lost all their money. So I grew up being very, very poor. There were times when I remember as a child, my mother would make us write with a lead pencil on our notebooks because we had to erase and reuse those notebooks so we wouldn't have to pay for new notebooks every time. While other kids in my school had nice clothes and toys and good things, I didn't. And my parents would focus on the fact that they could only afford to give us good education, but not everything else. So nothing was handed to me on a plate. I'm a completely self-made person, and I strongly believe that it's all entirely up to you what you want to do with your life. You can blame the world for a lot of the issues that you're facing because it's the easy way out. You can blame someone else for your own mistakes. But the reality is that if you're not doing well, it's because you're not trying hard enough and you're not looking at all the possible options available to you. Unless you're physically disabled or mentally incapable, there's no other reason. The vast majority of the population around us is struggling and suffering because they're not looking at the issues that they're facing because of their own actions. They just want the world to become a better place. The world is what it is. You can make it into a better place by changing your own actions. You can't change the world, you can only change yourself. Now, a lot of my viewers comment and say things like you're rich or you have these things and blah blah blah. They didn't fall on my lap. Just under 2 decades ago, I was completely broke, living in a friend's spare room and had £20,000 of debts. And I decided to do something about it, got myself out of it, worked hard. Now, people then tell you, oh, you're very lucky. No. The harder I work, the luckier I get. While other people were going out partying and spending money on booze and buying new clothes, I was working hard and saving every penny that I had. I'm what you call penny wise and pound foolish. I watch my pennies, I don't waste money, but then I can go and splash money on big things, the money that I've saved in other areas. Whereas I see my friends and people I know who just go around their merry way, wasting money here and there. They think, oh, £5 here, £2 there, it doesn't matter. It does matter because all of those little pennies and pounds spent here and there add up, and they actually that's what gives you the financial stability or the ability to buy things that you like. While there's another thing that I advise people all the time. Stop giving yourself little presents because you think you deserve it. Because you don't deserve it. No one should deserve anything until they've achieved something big. Now, I'm totally talking about financial gains here. So this isn't about happiness and other things, because your priorities might be different in life and you may not want money and things, and you just want happiness and be relaxed and chilled and have zero stress. Then that's fine, but don't expect to be rewarded for it. If you expect the reward to be financial reward, this is what I'm talking about. And throughout my life, I've noticed my friends and my acquaintances and people, my work colleagues and peers, what they do is they'll say, oh, I worked really hard, so I deserve to now have a good time. And they'll go out, splash a lot of money in a fancy restaurant, or buy new clothes. Or there were times where for 5-6 years I did not have a single holiday, because I just did not think that I had enough money to splash out on a holiday. I had other priorities in my life, like getting a better house, getting better furniture, getting a car, and you have to sacrifice certain things in life to achieve other things. It now all depends on what you want to sacrifice. I remember when my friends would go out every other night after work for a few drinks, where in some cases I had to work and I had to focus on building my career and my life. And in other instances, I just thought it was a useless expense that I didn't need to do, which I wouldn't get any pleasure from, because the next day I'd wake up suffering and have a hangover. I would kill a few brain cells, and in the long run I wouldn't see any benefit from it, and that enjoyment would be very short-lived, because many of those people that I'm talking about are still doing the same 9-to-5 jobs, have the same standard of living and quality of life, and haven't even progressed in their careers. So there are sacrifices that you make. You either decide that you're content with what you have and you don't want too much. In that case, that's fine, but stop blaming the world and being jealous or envious of people who have done well, because they have sacrificed their life to achieve things that others don't want to sacrifice. I have people in my family who don't believe in making a lot of money. They don't want to have nice things in life. They just want to coast away through life with contentment that they have achieved with whatever little they have. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it, because different people are different. So the reason I'm making this video is because there's so many people who email me and message me and ask me, how can I be like you? How can I achieve what you've achieved? First of all, I don't think I've achieved much. There are people of my age group who've achieved far more. But everyone is different. Everyone has gone through different circumstances, different challenges, different issues in life. I had a very tough childhood, and I had numerous issues: personality, confidence, self-belief, all of that. I overcame it, but it pushes you back. The other thing is, I did medicine, and I did something that I wasn't really too keen on, and then I switched my careers, which also pushed me back by about 8 years. Overall, I'm fine. I'm not complaining, and I'm grateful for what I have. The only thing is that everyone is different. So it's very important to understand what it is that you want in life. Do you want to make a lot of money and have things? Or do you want to enjoy life throughout? Do you want to enjoy life at a later stage in your lifespan? Now, what I also really strongly advise and believe is that life is here and now. It's not in the future. The way I live my life is I do everything that I enjoy and I feel fulfilled with here and now, because whatever I do here and now makes my past. And if I'm happy today, I'm doing all the positive things that will take me to a better future. So overall, I'm fixing my past, present and future every day. And that makes me a happier, more content person in the things that I achieve. Obviously, I like certain things in life that make me happy. The only thing that you can't buy is time, so I urge you to reconsider whether material things are important to you, or having more time on your hands to spend doing the things that you enjoy. Obviously you can't have it all, so you have to pick and choose. because now that I'm older I realize that I have probably not spent as much time on myself as I would have liked to or should have. But then we all learn from our mistakes, and I'm trying to change that now, where I'm trying to do more things for myself, like learning languages, quit my job. Yes, I will not have that much money, but at least I'll be content doing other things. So there's all kinds of choices you can make. So if you're young and you want to know what to do with your life, it's very important to decide and think really hard what it is that you want to do. Do you want to be rich and have lots of things, or do you want to be very happy? Now, in my generation, we were more fixated on house, cars, things. The newer generation is more fixated on quality of life and happiness, which is great. So focus on that. But you need to know what it is that you're trying to achieve. You can't have it all. There are certain sacrifices you need to make in life, and it's entirely up to you. Okay, so the key things that I want to stress upon is little things like, okay, now I'm earning a little more money, so I should buy a better laptop or a mobile phone, or I should buy a better car. And the small incremental changes cost money, but they keep you in that trap of being in the poverty line. To break away from it is to say, right, now, instead of, if I was earning £1,000 a month 6 months ago, now I'm earning 2,000, and now I've increased all my outgoings, that I still have the same disposable income, but marginally better things. It's not going to get you anywhere. What you need to know is, what is your goal? Today you drive a Golf. In 5 years you want to drive a Lamborghini. What will get you there? And can you downgrade your Golf to something else? Because your target is a Lamborghini. So don't go from a Golf to an Audi, to a BMW, to a Mercedes, to a Porsche, because you will never have enough money to buy the Lamborghini. And I give car analogies because I do a lot of car videos. But the key thing to remember is that you should not give yourself little presents all the time, because you want to give yourself one big present rather than these little things that amount up to nothing. There was a program I was watching where this woman wanted to buy this big television, and they were in a rental apartment, and she was discussing it with her partner, and he said, well, yes, we have a little more money, and we want to move into a house than this apartment, but you want to spend it on this TV. Instead, we should save this and not buy all these things that we want to buy until we move into a house. Now that's the kind of approach I take in life, where I don't go around wasting my money on things that are not meaningful enough, are not a big enough step. These marketing companies and advertising companies and all the media around us, it traps us and sucks us into this materialistic world where we think that we should buy these things because it will make us feel better. But it's like when you're really, really hungry, and instead of having a proper meal, you go have a spoon of sugar. You'll kill your hunger for 5-10 minutes, but then because your body doesn't have energy, you'll get hungry again. And all you've done is, your hunger is still there, you've just masked it with something. The same thing happens in life. When you see a new phone and you think, I want to buy this because everyone else has it, all you're doing is stretching yourself a little more, and then you will never have enough disposable income to go into that next level. The other thing is, in jobs and careers, people get very comfortable. They think, oh, I have this job, I'm doing well, and if I keep working hard, I will be rewarded. No, you won't be rewarded, because the harder you work, the baseline keeps changing. You work really hard, and your boss now gets used to your hard working, and there's a new baseline that's created and he expects more. You need to know, okay, I'm going to do this job as well as I can for 2 years. I'm going to learn everything that I can from it, and then I'm going to do something better. Either it's a promotion within the department or I move to another company. And you have to be bold and brave. If you think that I'm not going to get another job, then you won't get another job, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will believe in you. So you have to remember that you are the only person who can change your path and your career and everything to do with it. Your boss can't do it for you, your parents can't do it for you, no one can. It's only you. So you need to believe in yourself, and some people don't have the guts and the balls and the courage, and which is fine. Not everyone's the same. You need to know your abilities, your limitations, and then work with it. Obviously, if you stretch yourself too much, and if you stress yourself too much, you may end up having mental issues, psychological issues, or other emotional issues. I have to say that I had a very tough childhood, which I keep talking about, and I don't want to go into a detail because this is not a shrink session, but it also made me a very, very strong person. I'm extremely resilient, and I know that I can start from scratch. I can move to another country. I guess as a child, our parents moved around a lot, and having lived in so many different countries, every couple of years we'd move somewhere else, it makes you quite resilient and strong, and it allows you to learn to adapt and change. So all those horrible things that happened to me made me the person I am, and therefore it's made me stronger and resilient, which is why I can do these things. But yeah, so figure out what it is that you really want, and that's the first thing. So I think I should put some kind of numbers against. The first thing is you should know what it is that you want to achieve. Do you want to achieve happiness? Yes, because everyone wants to achieve happiness, but what does happiness really mean to you? Is it money? Is it time? Is it love? Whatever it is, write it down. Second thing is, where are you now? You need to create a baseline to say, this is where I am now. If it's money, okay, how much money do I have? What do I want to achieve? If I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or love or a wife or kids, what is it that I have today, and what is it that I want to achieve? So once you have your baseline and your goal, then you should have this written down, because that will change as your mindset changes. Once you know where you want to be, then you can create a step-by-step plan to say, how do I achieve this? What are the changes I need to make in my life? Maybe you have a big house and a big mortgage, but you don't really need it. What you want is, I don't know, a country house or a house in Spain or the south of France or something else. But you're living in this big place in London, which is pointless. Just an analogy. So downsize, go live in a flat and focus on what it is that you need to do and how you can achieve that, release the equity, remortgage, do whatever you need to do, and then achieve that thing and create small goals in your life initially, which are achievable, because the more you achieve your goals, the more confident you'll feel about yourself, the more you'll try to progress. Because if you keep encountering lots of failures, unless you're really resilient like me, you will be pushed down. So smaller achievable goals, tight on your wallet and your budget if you're chasing money. Remember, penny wise, pound foolish. If you can, on a monthly basis, if you can cut down on your electricity and gas bills, make sure you change your suppliers regularly. Don't get complacent and forget about these things just because you can afford it. Because the more money you make, the easier it is to waste it, because you don't feel the pain as much. So keep that tight control over your finances and watch them. Check your credit card statements, check your bank statements, look at your bills, figure out how you can reduce those things. I'm not a big foodie, so my friends like going to expensive restaurants and buying expensive meals, and for me, I could have a burger or I could have the most expensive French cuisine. It's just food. I eat it because I need to. So there'll be things in your life which are just necessities. So no need to waste money on necessities. If you save money on that, then you can splash it on to other things. Like a few of my friends, they're interested in good wines, and I always laugh and joke about this, that you invest in wine, I invest in metal. I like cars, but wine and food, once you've eaten and drank it, you know what happens to it the next day, what it changes to. Whereas cars and things that I buy, they depreciate, but they're still there. So I have something to show for my money. If I carried on drinking and eating and spending my money on things that I don't enjoy like the others do, then I won't have that disposable income to spend on the things that I really want. So it's a balancing game, it's a give and take. You have to understand what it is that you really want. So once you've figured out your baseline, your goal, you need to know how to get there, work out your budgets, work out your plans. And if it's not money, if it's about happiness and spending time with your loved ones, then work out how you can cut down on things that, again, back to the money, because the money makes the world go round. So if you can reduce your outgoings, if you can reduce the stress that forces you to go to work, then you can spend more time with your loved ones. So again, you have to keep focusing on what it is that you want to do, and you will get it. The biggest problem with our society, in the Western world especially, is we take everything for granted. People think that the world owes them something, the society owes them something. If they don't work, the government should pay them money for it. Where's the money going to come from? If everyone stops working hard, where's the money going to come from? No one's going to pay enough taxes, the system will collapse. Everyone keeps saying tax the rich. Well, the rich don't get rich by doing nothing. Doesn't matter what anyone tells you, it's utter bullshit. People only get ahead if they're smart and they work hard, because no matter how much money you have, eventually over a couple of generations you lose it. There's my family and so many other examples out there who had a lot and then they had nothing. So it's very easy to get sucked into this society where everyone should be taken care of. No, it doesn't work like that. If you want things, you have to go get them. I find it so frustrating that I'm all the time trying to get people to do things for me, like I don't know, a plumbing job or an electrician. You call people and they just are so like, oh, I don't have time and it's not good enough, it's not worth it. And for me, the difference between me and these people and why I am successful is because if someone offers me a job and that offers me money, I will do it. If I have to sacrifice my personal time, I'll do it, because for me, money is more important and I like to have things that I can get from that, whereas other people, they don't. And maybe it is that they just want to spend more time with their families, but the bottom line is, when people say there aren't enough jobs, I think they're just lying, because there's thousands of jobs out there that people are refusing to do. I wanted to get my brake calipers painted because I want them to be yellow rather than whatever color they have. I think one of the cars has them grey. And I rang 6 or 7 different companies who do brake caliper painting. Oh, they're not available, they're too busy, or they can't be bothered. And I was like, I'm giving you money, I'm giving you business, I'm coming to you, yet you're not interested. Same thing with plumbers, electricians. I wanted to get my back garden paved over because I'm highly allergic to grass. I rang 5, 6 different landscaping companies, very expensive. Rang this company run by a Bulgarian guy. I know a lot of British people are annoyed by the foreigners working here, but I have to say, because of them we have things working, otherwise we'd have nothing, because our people are utterly lazy. I rang this guy, this English guy. I spoke to on the phone. I assume he was English because he sounded English, and he gave me a quote for £5,000 for, I don't know, 15 square meters to put tiles on it. And I thought that was a bit expensive, so I rang a few other companies. This Bulgarian guy I spoke to, he said I'll do it for £2,500. So I rang the English guy first and I said, I've got a quote for £2,500, you quoted £5,000. He said, I wouldn't get out of bed for less than £5,000. I said, you're going to be staying in bed for a long time because I'm not coming to you for any more work. I gave the Bulgarian guy that job. He came, he did such an amazing job. Halfway through, he came and put his level thing because the people who were working while he was away had done something. I couldn't tell that there was anything wrong. And he made them remove half of it all over again and then fix it. And I said, what are you doing? And he said, you can't see it, but I can see that there is a slight problem. And when it rains, the water won't flow properly. And you'll be unhappy with the work that I've done. I don't want to have unhappy customers. I'd rather suck it and see, as in basically redo this job because it's my fault for not overseeing it when they were doing it. And I was so impressed, and subsequently every house that I moved into I bring him back for all kinds of jobs because he's honest and he's a nice person and hardworking. Things come to him because he's hardworking. That's the bottom line. Anyway, I think this video has gone on far too long, so you're probably bored to death watching it and listening to my rant. But I thought the best way to do it is to talk to people and tell them. And if you comment below and if you want specific answers to specific subjects or topics that you want me to cover, I'm happy to make more videos about it because I get so many emails from people asking me for things, and it's just either very trivial, so it's either I can respond back via email, or if it's too big, then I think it's better to make a video so many people can watch it and benefit from it. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I don't have enough subscribers, and every time I look at it, it's motivating to see you have more subscribers and people watch your videos. Otherwise you're like, okay, I don't even know why I'm doing this because no one watches it. So yeah, thank you once again, and have a great day. Hope this was useful.